Hello students, welcome back to my channel. Today I am discussing the exercises of the sense organs class 10, right? First check here, name the following. Part that provides and maintains shape of the eyeball, sclera, SCLERA, right? Part that darkens the eye from inside, it is choroid. Part that helps in dark and light adaptations, it is pupil. Part that helps to maintain equilibrium in the ear, it is semicircular canals and vestibule. In the ear, they are semicircular canals and vestibule. Part that is affected in astigmatism, it is cornea. The photosensitive pigment present in the rod cells of the retina, it is rhodopsin. The internal layer of the eye which prevents reflection of light, it is retina, right? The next one, eye defect in which cornea becomes uneven, it is astigmatism. Astigmatism, photosensitive pigment present in the cone cells of retina, it is iodopsin or the visual violet. Fluid present in the anterior part of the eye in front of the eye lens, it is aqueous humor, it is watery fluid. The nutritive layer of the eye which also prevents reflection of light, it is choroid. The ear ossicles which is attached to the tympanum, it is malleus. The layer of the eyeball that forms the transparent cornea, it is sclerotic layer or sclera, right? Now see the next one. The eye defect caused due to the shortening of the eyeball from front to back, it is hyperopia, that is long sightedness. The structure that is responsible for protecting the eye, the structure is responsible for protecting the eye from the sweat. It is the fluid present in front of the eye, that is your conjunctival layer that remains mutual, which is protecting the eye from the sweat. Kind of lens required to correct myopia, it is concave lens. The layer of the eyeball that provides nourishment to the eye, it is the choroid layer. Now give one difference between the following. Now just see it here for the differences. Give one difference between the following pairs. Rods and cone pigment. Rods contain rhodopsin pigment, cones contain iodopsin pigment. Myopia and hypermetropia, lenses used. In myopia, we use concave lenses. In hypermetropia, we use convex lenses, right? Perilymph, endolymph location. Perilymph, it is upper and lower scalae in the cochlea. They are filled with the perilymph. Middle scala is full of endolymph. Blind spot and yellow spot, sensory cells. Sensory cells, particularly cone cells only, they are present in the large number. They are responsible where the highly magnified images form. And blind spot where no images form. Nerve fibers from all the sensory cells, they form optic nerve, so no photoreceptor cells are there. Light adaptation, dark adaptation, diameter of the pupil. Under light, a contraction of pupil, less diameter. Dark adaptation, dilation of the pupil, and it is the comparatively big diameter. Myopia, hypermetropia, cause of the defect. Under myopia, image is formed in front of retina. Under hypermetropia, image is formed behind the retina. Sclerotic layer or choroid layer. Which one forms the iris? Choroid layer forms the iris. Which layer? Choroid layer forms the iris. Now, choroid layer and sclerotic layer functions. Choroid layer, it is the nutritive layer of the eye which also prevents reflection of light. Whereas sclerotic eye, it maintains the shape of the eyeball. It maintains the shape of the eyeball, right? Now the next one, dynamic balance and static balance. Dynamic balance and static balance definition. Dynamic balance, it is concerned with the balance of body during movement and locomotion, and it is caused by the semicircular canals. Whereas static balance is concerned with the orientation, balance of body, mainly the head, when at rest, irrespective of changes in gravitational forces, which one surrounds the organ of changes in the gravitational force. It is due to the vestibule. Vestibule is responsible for the static balance, and semicircular canals are concerned with the dynamic balance. Perilymph or endolymph, which one surrounds the organ of corti? Perilymph surrounds the organ of corti. Which surrounds the organ of corti? Perilymph surrounds the organ of corti. Myopia, hypermetropia, condition of eyeball. Under myopia, eyeball of too great depth, eyeball lengthened from front to the back. Whereas in hypermetropia, eyeball of too short depth and eyeball shortened from front to back. Here eyeball is lengthened, here eyeball is shortened. Rods and cone, pigments present, we have already discussed. Rod cells contains rhodopsin pigment, whereas cone cells contain iodopsin pigment. Near vision, distant vision, shape of the eye lens. Near vision, the lens becomes too concave, too convex or curved, and here in distant vision, the lens becomes less convex or too flattened, right? So that is what the difference is. Now here we come to the odd one out, right? Third one, find the odd one out. Fovea, choroid, cornea and iris. Fovea is odd one out. Cochlea, basilar membrane, utriculus, resinous membrane, organ of corti. Utriculus is odd one out. Myopia, thickening of lens, thickening of cornea, formation of image behind the retina and elongation of eye wall. Myopia is odd one out. Iris, ciliary muscle, suspensory ligaments and elasticity of lens. Elasticity of lens. Cornea, sclerotic, aqueous humor, lens and vitreous humor, lens. Malleus, iris, stapes, incus. Iris is odd one out. Hemoglobin, glucagon, iodopsin, rhodopsin, glucagon, right? Fill in the blanks. Cornea is covered by a thin membrane called conjunctiva. Cornea is covered by a thin membrane called conjunctiva. Dash is an aperture in the middle of iris. Pupil. Pupil is an aperture in the middle of iris. Now here, rods and cones cells are sensory cells in the retina of eye, which are rods and cone cells. Rods and cone cells, S will not be here. Rods and cone cells are suspensory cells in the retina of eye. Lens is held in position by suspensory ligaments. Lens is held in position by suspensory ligaments. Rhodopsin pigment is found in the rod cells and helps in dim or diffused light. Erythrolab, chlorolab and cyanolab pigments of cone cells help in the differentiation of color, right? Organ of corti present in the cochlea are the sense organs of hearing. A condition in which light rays are formed behind the retina is called long-sightedness or hyperopia. Semicircular canals and vestibule are sensory spots in the internal ear that help to maintain balance. Accommodation apparatus is made up of ciliary muscles, suspensory ligaments, and elasticity of lens. Accommodation apparatus is made up of ciliary muscles, suspensory ligaments and elasticity of lens. तो यहाँ पर ciliary muscles, suspensory ligaments, elasticity of lens, तो यहाँ पर iris होगा आपका odd man out, ciliary lens नहीं होगा. क्योंकि ये तीनों accommodation of eye में available है. बस ये था कि ये सारे muscles हैं, adjusted there. A fluid, the type of lens that used to correct myopia, it is concave lens. A fluid that occupies the larger convity of the eyeball behind the lens, it is vitreous humor. Okay, now define the following terms: glaucoma, persovia. Just say it here. See, glaucoma, kalamoti, it occurs due to the oversecretion of aqueous humor. Persovia, the eye cannot be accommodated because of the loss of elasticity. In hypermetria, image is formed behind the retina and can be corrected by the use of convex lens. Myopia, image is formed in front of the retina and can be corrected by the use of concave lens. Sclerotic vision or binocular vision, monkeys, apes and man, they have the sclerotic vision which gives depth and more clarity to the image, and the image formed as three-dimensional faces. Cochlea, a spirally coiled part of internal ear which has sense organs of hearing, that is organ of corti. Glaucoma, an eye disease that is due to oversecretion of aqueous or vitreous humor. Glaucoma, it occurs due to oversecretion of aqueous or vitreous humor. Hypermetria, an eye in which image optic is formed behind the retina. Near objects are not clearly visual, whereas in metropia, the distant objects are not clearly visible, right? Now here, in eye transplantation, cornea is grafted. Yeah. Now see, in eye donation, now let here, cornea of the eye forms from a person taken. Usually after that, it is grafted in place of the damaged cornea of another person and the vision is grafted. Answer is grafted in place of the damage and occurs and the vision is restored. There. A man having persovia that cannot accommodate the eye, because a man having persovia cannot accommodate the eye. It cannot, because focusing near object corrected us due to loss of flexibility of the lens. Generally after the age of is not able to do due to the loss of flexibility. A man having this due to loss of flexibility in the lens. Hypermetropia can be corrected by the use of the convex lens. Yes, hypermetropia can be corrected by the convex lens, because the lens becomes less convex or too flattened. Eyeball is too short depth and it is shortened, so it can be corrected. It can be corrected by the wearing the convex lenses. When you enter a dark room from bright light, you are blinded momentarily. Here, see, when you enter in a dark room from a bright lighted area, momentarily you are not able to see anything, because our vision is improved and we can see the objects in the dark room. That is called darder. This is due to because dilation of the pupil allowing more light to enter eyes, and this is the only answer. The dilation of pupil allowing more light to enter the eyes, and the regeneration of rhodopsin, visual pigment of the rod cells, which was early broken down in the bright light. And the next one here, when you enter dark room, one feels blinded for a short time while coming out of the dark room. One feels dark coming out of the dark room, that is called light adaptation. This is because contraction of the pupil to reduce the amount of light entering the eyes. That is due to contraction of the pupil to reduce the amount of light entering the eyes, and the formation of iodopsin pigment by the cone cell that was disintegrated in darkness. Only these 2 points were supposed, and here also only these 2 points. These 2 points are supposed the answers of your 5th and 6th. Define, we have already discussed the functions of the human ear. Now here the functions of the human ear. See here the functions. Hearing, the external pinna collects the sound waves. It concentrates these waves, passes to the tympanic membrane. Vibrations conveyed from tympanic membrane to overa fenestra or through the ear ossicles. Then in the membrane, oval windows are passed to the perilymph in the upper scala of cochlea. Then these vibrations are transmitted to the endolymph of the middle scala and basilar member starts vibrating. The vibrating basilar membrane then stimulates the sensory cells of the organs of corti. Then the sensory hair cell converts sound waves into the nerve impulse. These are carried to the brain through the auditory nerve. So it is the brain which analyzes the pitch, quality, timbre, intensity and direction of the sound waves. Main function there is hearing. Sound wave plus next is your balancing. Hearing is by cochlea and balancing, that is the dynamic balance and static balance. Dynamic balance through the semicircular canals and static balance, that is through the vestibule. See, first is hearing, second is the hearing vibrations is travel through the sound waves from the internal ear. Here three semicircular canals are there. They were help in balancing. Semicircular canals hurt us in the different direction. Fluid inside canal, that is the endolymph, is taken. Now this moving fluid pushes against sensory crystals, sending nerve impulse to the brain through the nerve fiber attached to them through auditory nerve. And static balance, that is the utriculus. Utriculus and sacculus, together it forms vestibule. It helps in static equilibrium, means sensory cell has to register static potential balance with respect to the gravity. Main function hearing and balancing. Hearing is by cochlea, balancing, dynamic balance by semicircular canals, static balance by vestibule. Clear? How can you compare various parts of the eye with a photographic camera? Now here you see how we can compare the various parts of the photo eye with the camera. See, eye and the camera. What are the similarities over there? Eyeball is similar to the camera box. Lens, lens only. Eyelids, lens cap. Iris, diaphragm of the camera. Pupil, aperture, that is the lens opening. Lens muscles, that is the focusing device. Pigmented lining of the wall, that is the black lining of the box. Light sensitive retina, that is the light sensitive film or plate. And what are the differences? The same light sensitive layer is used again and again in our eyes, but in camera the light sensitive films has to be replaced every time after taking the photograph. Focusing is done by altering the shape of lens. Here focusing is done by changing the distance between the lens and the sensitive plate. I hope it is clear. Okay, now we see the next one. Describe the cochlear in the ear of man. When we ask describe the cochlear in the ear of man, here you can see the cochlea. Yes. See, cochlea, it is a spiry-coiled, snail-like structure. It is having 2.5 coils. You see, 1, 2, and half. Half coils are there. They are divided into 3 horizontal chambers. Means if this cochlear one, there are few, see it transversely, see this one is structure inside. It is elaborated over here. It is divided into this chamber into 3 parts. Upper, this is called the scala media. This is the upper one. This is the middle one, scala media. And this is the lower one, scala tympani. 1, 2, and 3. Right? Scala, the upper one, it is also known as scala vestibuli. The middle one, it is also known as scala, this one, it is scala media. And the lower one, it is scala tympani. Now, they are represented by each other by 2 membrane. See, in between, that is the Resiner's membrane present, upper and the lower one. And here basilar membrane is present, this basilar membrane from the middle one to the lower one. Basilar membrane, this membrane differs the second, and Rasseller's membrane, it differs with this one and this one. This chamber is filled with the endolymph, and this chamber, it is filled with the perilymph. This one and this one, it is filled with the perilymph, and the middle one is filled with the endolymph. And this basilar membrane, this has got the membrane lower scale, it is full of the perilymph, this is full of the perilymph, and the middle scale, that is full of endolymph. And the mesolymph, it has, you see, hair of these cells, you see the hairs are present, people. Basilar hair, they are known, basilar hairs are the present. These hairs hearing, they are known as organ of corti. Membrane has sense organs of hearing, that is known as organs of corti or spiral. ये जो organ, ये जो cells हैं, ये हेयर सेल बेसिलर मेम्ब्रेन के ऊपर जो बेस, ये हेयर लाइक स्ट्रक्चर्स हैं, ये एलोबरेट करके बनाया है, ये छोटे। तो इस मेम्ब्रेन के ऊपर ये इस तरह के सेल्स होते हैं, और इस तरह के सेल्स में ये हेयर सेल्स होते हैं। इन्हीं को हम स्पाइरल ऑर्गन्स कहते हैं, ये सेंसरी हेयर सेल्स हैं, और इन्हीं के ग्रुप्स ऑफ सेंसरी हेयर सेल जो बेसिलर मैम, जो ये है, इसके बीच में ये 3 पार्ट है, इस 3 पार्ट के बीच में जो यहाँ पर जो एंडोलिम्फ पड़ा है, इस एंडोलिम्फ में ये टेक्टोरल मेम्ब्रेन प्रेजेंट है, जो कि इसको 2 पार्ट में, मिडिल पार्ट को भी 2 पार्ट में डिवाइड कर देती है। इसमें इसे हम कहते हैं ऑर्गन ऑफ कॉर्टाई। यहाँ पे ये सेंसरी नर्व्स, ये ऑडिटरी नर्व्स रिसीव करते हैं, दे रिसीव द सेंसरी इंपल्सेस, एंड फ्रॉम हियर ओनली द, इन्हीं के बीच से, यहाँ से ऑडिटरी नर्व निकलती है। आप ये देखिए, ये ऑर्गन ऑफ कॉर्टाई है, तो ये ऑर्गन ऑफ कॉर्टाई के तीनों लेयर से, और एक ये वेस्टिब्यूल से निकल, दोनों से मिल करके ये ऑडिटरी नर्व जो कि ब्रेन में जाती है, एंड दैट transform the sound waves into the nerve impulse, and they are carried through the auditory. I hope the structure of the cochlea is clear to you. Now here, what is meant by power of accommodation of the eye? Name the muscles of the eye responsible for this. Now see here, ability of the eye to see the objects equally clear from various distances. Ability of the eye to see the objects equally clear from various distances is called power of accommodation. The muscles of the ear responsible for the same, they are ciliary muscles, suspensory ligaments, they are ciliary muscles, suspensory ligaments, and elasticity of the lens itself, it is responsible for it. Now here you see the organs, explain the given diagram, label the part. Sclera, sclerotic layer 1, 2, 3. Now here you see the layers present, the diagram you are able to see it here, this one. See, number 1, it is sclerotic layer, number 2, it is choroid layer, third is, they are the 3 walls of the layer. Fourth one, it is the fovea central where the sharpest image is formed. Fifth one, it is the optic nerve. Sixth, it is the blind spot. Seventh, this is the lens. Eighth, this is the aqueous humor. Pupil, this whole, it is ninth one, it is the pupil. 10th one, this is the iris, and this is the vitreous humor, this portion. 11th one, ये आपका है, ये 11th one, vitreous humor. और 12th, ये जो outer layer है, ये है आपकी cornea. Now the second, label the, state the functions of 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 12. Now see, 1, sclerotic, it forms the outermost tough connective tissue layer that forms the shape of the eye. Second one, choroid, it's dark, it helps in absorption of light. Third one, retina, it is photosensitive layer to receive the image, means formation of image takes place. And the fifth one, optic nerve, it carry impulse from sensory cells to the brain for interpretation. And the seventh one, that is the lens, it controls the size of the pupil. And cornea, it focuses the light rays on the retina. जो cornea होती है, ये light rays जो है retina के ऊपर focus करती है, ठीक है? What defect is depicted by the eye? Now here the defect, because the image formation is not seen here. and as the image formation is there, then only you are able to depict the eye. Here in this diagram, it is not clear. Name some other defects of the eye. The other defects of the eye, that is astigmatism, presbyopia, cataract, glaucoma, night blindness, color blindness, squint, detachment of retina, etc. What is accommodation of eye? How it is achieved? Just now we have already discussed here. That is the accommodation of the eye and how it is raised. Now see the figure and answer the parts. This one. See the figure and answer the parts here. Let us see here. See, this diagram is here. Now here in this diagram, you can see, label the parts. First, it is the external pinna. 2 is auditory canal. Number 3, it is the tympanum. 4th, it is the Eustachian tube. 5th, it is the internal ear, cochlea. 6th, it is the auditory nerve. 7th, ये semicircular canals हैं. 8th one, it is stapes. 8th one, ये stapes हैं, आखिरी वाले बोन है. उसके बाद 9th मेलियस और ये इंकस. इंकस, मेलियस और स्टेप्स, ये दो बोन है. What is the function? Function of the ear pinna. Ear pinna, it collects sound waves and directs to these waves to the auditory canal. ये ear pinna sound को डायरेक्ट करके auditory canal में डायरेक्ट करता है ये. और Eustachian tube, it equalizes the air pressure on both sides of the ear drum. What it does? It equalizes the air pressure from both sides of the eardrum. And cochlea, what it does? Cochlea, the sensory cell, it transforms the sound waves into the nerve impulse, also helps in hearing. Auditory nerve, nerve impulses carried to the brain through the auditory nerve. Semicircular maintenance of posture and dynamic equilibrium. What will be the effect of blocked Eustachian tube? Pressure of the air inside and outside the tympanum does not equalize, and the difference in there they may injure the eardrum, and if the eardrum is injured, then it may result to the deafness. How ear helps in hearing or in balancing? See, in balancing, the ear helps. In case of the ear, just you see, in ear, the external, this ear pinna, it collects the sound waves. From this sound waves passes through the auditory canal, then tympanic membrane starts vibrating. Through this membrane, the vibrations are passed to the ear ossicles, that is malleus, incus, and stapes. Through the instep, they passes through the oval windows. Through oval windows, the sound waves, they passes into the vestibule. This vestibule, it consists of the sacculus and antricis, and from this antricis, they are passes into the cochlea, and here they are into the semicircular canals. The inner limb which is present, they start vibrating, and through auditory nerve, the nerves goes to hearing. Balancing, semicircular canals, that helps in the dynamic balance of the body, whereas vestibular nerves which are there, they are just when you are in the stationary position or the sitting static position through the gravitational cavity. That time balancing is possible with the help of vestibule. And see these semicircular canals, 3 canals right angle to each other they are placed. एक ये ऐसे placed होते हैं, ये placed होते हैं, और एक ऐसे, ये right angle में है, ये इसके right angle में ऐसे semicircular canals placed है. तो ये जो वापस में right angular में तीनों है, so these, that is what they are shown over here like this, the semicircular canals. You can see this one, these semicircular canals are there. Through these semicircular ampulla, ये है vestibule, utriculus और sacculus. Utriculus ये इसका upper portion है और sacculus इसके नीचे वाला portion है. ये और utriculus, sacculus, इन दोनों को मिला के हम vestibule कहते हैं. तो यहाँ पर ये सारा endolymph होता है. It starts vibrating, and then from here the auditory nerve which is arising from the vestibular region, semicircular say, and cochlear region, it form cochlear nerve, vestibular nerve. Both vestibular nerve which arises here, यहाँ पर ही semicircular canals के ampulla region भी यहीं पर खुलते हैं अंदर. वहां से जो vibrations जाती हैं वो cochlear में, ये cochlear nerve, ये आगे vestibular cochlear nerve मिला करके auditory nerve बनाती है. And through this the vibrations are passed through the brain, and then brain interprets the sound what it is, right? ये आपका हो गया. What will the effect? What will the effect of the blocked action है? अगर ईशेंटियम ब्लॉक्ड है, it will not equalize the pressure from the eardrum outer and the inner pressure of the tympanum. How ear helps in here, how ear helps in balancing, ये मैंने आपको भी बताया. Now given below is the diagram depicting a defect of the human eye. इसमें इमेज फॉर्मेशन पहले हो रहा है, तो ये कौन सा डिफेक्ट होगा? मायोपिया. देखिए पार्ट्स लेवल 1, ये विट्रस ह्यूमर है, ये विट्रस ह्यूमर है. 2, ये येलो स्पॉट फोविया सेंट्रलिस वेयर द शार्पेस्ट इमेजेस फॉर्म. 3, ये लेंस है. 8, this is the pupil. Now name the defect shown in the diagram. It is myopia. Give 2 possible reasons for the defect of the eye in human beings. The 2 possible reasons for this defect eye in the myopia, in the reasons, there are 2 possible. The lens becomes too convex or curved, or eyeball of too great length, or eyeball lengthened from front to back. दो रीजंस क्या है? द लेंस बिकम टू कॉन्वेक्स और कर्व, आईबॉल ऑफ टू ग्रेट डेप्थ मींस आईबॉल लेंथेंड फ्रॉम द फ्रंट. ये आईबॉल जो है लेंथेंड, ये लंबाई में ज्यादा खिंच जाती है फ्रॉम फ्रंट टू बैक. जब ये ऐसे खिंच जाएगी तो इमेज फॉर्मेशन जो है इसके अंदर है, इंदर यानी कि ये मायोपिया डिफेक्ट है. ये आपके हो गया पॉसिबल है. नेम द पार्ट्स लेवल 1 to 4. आई टोल्ड यू ऑल द पार्ट्स लेवल्ड हियर 1 to 4. ये आपको मैंने लेवल करके बताया है. 1 is vitreous humor, 2 is fovea centralis or yellow spot, 3 is lens, 4th is pupil. Right? Name the part labels 1 to 4. Name the type of the eye lens used. Correct this. It is the convex lens. Draw label diagram to show how the above mentioned defect is corrected. Now see, to correct here we use the concave lens. Which lens are supposed to be used? The name the type of the lens. It is the convex type of the lens. ये convex नहीं है, ये concave lens है. Concave, ये concave lens होगा. जब हम इस कॉन्वेक्स लेंस लाएंगे तो यहाँ से जो राइट रेस फॉलो होगी तो इमेज जो है रेटिना में फॉर्म होगी. ये दिस इज द मायोपिया करेक्शन. एज द इमेजेस आप इसके बीच में यहाँ पर एक कॉन्वेक्स लेंस ड्रॉ करेंगे और कॉन्वेक्स लेंस के बाद ये इमेज जो है वापस रेटिना, देन द पर्सन इज एबल टू सी इट क्लियरली. इस कंडीशन में लिखिए शॉर्ट साइटेड है, मतलब पास की चीजें तो साफ दिखाई देती हैं लेकिन दूर की चीजें जो है साफ दिखाई नहीं देती. डिस्टेंट ऑब्जेक्ट्स वी आर नॉट एबल टू सी इट प्रॉपरली. Right? Now draw a label diagram of the inner ear. Name the part of the ear that is responsible for static balance in the human ear. अच्छा, ear का diagram आप देख सकते हैं. See, this is the diagram of the internal ear. The various parts you label. See, this is the external pinna. This is the auditory canal. This is the tympanic membrane. These are the 3 bones, malleus, incus, and this is the stapes. ये है ओवल विंडोज, ये है सेमी सर्कुलर कैनाल्स, ये है एम्पुला, ये है ऑडिटरी नर्व, ये है कॉक्लिया, ये है वेस्टिब्यूल. राइट? नाउ हियर द क्वेश्चन यू हैव टू ड्रॉ द डायग्राम, लेबल डायग्राम ऑफ द इनर ईयर. ये आपका इनर ईयर. नेम द पार्ट ऑफ द इनर दैट इज स्टैटिक बैलेंस इन ईयर. स्टैटिक बैलेंस के लिए द रीजन विच इज रिमेंबर इट इज वेस्टिब्यूल. ये आपके जो है ना यूट्रिकुलस और सेक्युलस, ये स्टैटिक बैलेंस के लिए है. ये आपका इंटरनल, ये है ना द इनर ईयर. इनर, ये देखिए डायग्राम आपका, ये यूट्रिकुलस नर्व, ये स्टैटिक बैलेंस के, ये आपका ये आपका ह्यूमन ईयर है, ये है इंटरनल. इंटरनल ईयर में आपको ये वाला डायग्राम देना है. सी इंटरनल ईयर हॉरिजॉन्टल सुपीरियर, ये सेमी, ये 1 2 3 सेमी सर्कल एक दूसरे से तीनों राइट एंगल पर प्लेस्ड होती है. ये 2 ऐसे हैं, ऐसे हैं ये, और एक ऐसे हैं. ये तीनों आपस में राइट एंगुलर पर हैं. इसके जो सोलेन एंग्स हेडफोन की तरह हैं, इसको हम एम्पुला कहते हैं. और यहाँ से जो ये यूट्रिकुलस और सेकुलस रीजन है, ये यूट्रिकुलस और सेकुलस रीजन जो है, ये दोनों ही जो है ये स्टैटिक बैलेंस है. और सेमी सर्कुलर कैनाल्स डायनेमिक बैलेंस कर रहे हैं, और कॉक्लिया हियरिंग में हेल्प करता है. ठीक है? नाउ सी देयर, स्टेट ट्रू और फॉल्स. Cones are photoreceptor cells that are light sensitive to dim light. It is the false. Rods are responsible for the vision in the dark. It is a true statement. Give the exact location and function. Pinna. Pinna is placed, you can see, pinna is external place. What is its function? It collects sound waves from outside and it directs to the auditory canal. लैक्रिमल ग्लैंड, लैक्रिमल ग्लैंड जो है ये आपके अपर लेयर ऑफ द आई पर प्रेजेंट होती हैं. See, these are the lacrimal glands present on the upper eyelid. These are the lacrimal glands. They are present in the eyelids. They almond shaped होती हैं eyelids. Their secretions they are known as, इनके जो tears, the secretions, यहाँ से जो है lacrimal gland, इससे tears निकलते हैं. और tears में क्या आइसोसोम एंजाइम्स होते हैं जो कि बैक्टीरिया को किल करते हैं, सरफेस ऑफ द आईवेल को lubricate करते हैं. They lubricate, they clears and maintains the shape of maintains the eyeball clear so that the any just cannot takes place. Malleus, first bone of the ear. First bone of the internal ear is the malleus. ये आपकी फर्स्ट बोन जो होती है ये malleus होती है. ये this is the malleus, first bone. इसका function to transfer the sound waves from tympanum, that is eardrum, to the incus. Tears lacrimal gland से निकलते हैं. इसका function to, what is the function of the tears? To cleanse the eye. It has the isoenzymes present in them that kills harmful bacteria and germs. Incus bone जो है ये आपके middle है. Incus, it is present between malleus and stapes. It passes sound vibrations from malleus to the stapes. Its function only to pass sound vibration from malleus to the stapes. Right? Now rewrite the complete this way. Eye, optic nerve, ear, auditory nerve. Iris of the eye, it regulates the amount of light. It regulates the amount of light entering in the eye. The entering the poorly room that we have already discussed earlier. Rewrite in correct logical sequence. Here you can see pupil, eyelens, vitreous humors, ऑडिटरी नर्व की जगह ये ऑप्टिक नर्व होगा. ऑप्टिक, ये ऑड वन आउट हो जाएगा इसमें, क्योंकि प्यूपल, आईलेंस, विट्रस ह्यूमर, फोबिया, ये सारे आई पार्ट के हैं लेंस. और ऑडिटरी नर्व ये ईयर का पार्ट है, तो ये इसमें नहीं हो सकता, ये इसमें गलत प्रिंटेड है. प्यूपिल, आई स्पॉट, तो इससे पहले सबसे पहले क्या होगा, ये जो येलो स्पॉट है लाइक एंट्रिंग ऑफ द, पहले एक्वस ह्यूमर, एक्वस ह्यूमर से आएगा प्यूपिल, प्यूपिल से लेंस, लेंस नहीं, इसमें सबसे पहले है कॉर्निया, कॉर्निया के बाद आएगा आपका एक्वस ह्यूमर, एक्वस ह्यूमर के बाद प्यूपिल, प्यूपिल के बाद आएगा लेंस. कॉर्निया इससे पहले है, सबसे पहले है कॉर्निया, जीरो से पहले कॉर्निया, फिर प्यूपिल, प्यूपिल, प्यूपिल बाद में आएगा, पहले एक्वस ह्यूमर है, कॉर्निया, एक्वस ह्यूमर, प्यूपिल, लेंस, येलो स्पॉट. कॉर्निया, एक्वस ह्यूमर, प्यूपिल, लेंस, येलो स्पॉट. इसमें ओवल विंडोज में पहले आपका ऑडिटरी कैनाल, फिर टिम्पैनम, देन ओवल विंडोज, देन ईयर, ओवल ऑडिटरी कैनाल, ऑडिटरी कैनाल, ऑडिटरी कैनाल के बाद आएगा टिम्पैनम, टिम्पैनम के बाद आएंगे ईयर ऑसिकल्स, ईयर ऑसिकल के बाद ओवर विंडोज, ओवल विंडोज के बाद आएगा फिर आपका कॉक्लिया. यहाँ पर पिना, पिना के बाद ऑडिटरी कैनाल, ऑडिटरी कैनाल के बाद टिम्पैनम, टिम्पैनम के बाद ईयर ऑसिकल, ईयर ऑसिकल्स के बाद कॉक्लिया. ठीक है. Given below is the diagram part of the human ear study. Now here, ये देखिए, this is the diagram. Name the structure shown in there. It is the internal ear of a man. Biological term of malleus, incus and stapes. They are ear ossicles. Name the parts labeled A, B, C, D. A is cochlear duct. C is the ampulla, and this B is the semicircular canal. State the function of the parts labeled A. Cochlea helps in hearing. A. B, that is in the dynamic balance of the body. They helps in dynamic balance of the body. Name the audio receptor region present in the part labeled A. Audio receptor region, there is the organ of corti, right? सब चीजें वही है, वही उलट पलट के पूछा गया आपसे. कंप्लीट ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ द functional activity, iris of the eye that regulates the amount of light, Eustachian tube, equalizing pressure on both the sides of the eardrum, eye defect occurring in the old people whereby they are unable to see the nearby objects, that is the long-sightedness, the structure that carries visual stimuli from retina to the brain, which is the optic nerve, eye lens losing flexibility resulting in a kind of long-sightedness, that is the presbyopia. Presbyopia, a thin membrane covering the entire front part of the eye, it is the conjunctiva. अब draw the diagram of the human eye as seen in the vertical section. Label the parts. आपको vertical section eye का diagram अच्छी तरह पता है. ये है आपका vertical section of the eye. आप देख सकते हैं. See, now here the layer which prevents reflection of the light, choroid. ये देखिए choroid. ये है middle layer, choroid. The structure that alters the focal length, they are the ciliary muscles. ये देखिए हैं आपके ciliary muscles. ये ciliary muscles हैं. ये सस्पेंसरी लिगामेंट्स हैं और सस्पेंसरी लिगामेंट्स के आगे ये सिलियरी मसल्स हैं. ये जो वाइट पोर्शन है. ये the outermost transparent layer, that is the cornea, fluid present in the anterior part, that is the aqueous humor. So this you can already see over there. Internal eye, this is the aqueous humor, this is the vitreous chamber, vitreous humor fluid is present. These are the sensory ligaments, they are the rhygnia, this is the optic nerve, this is fovea centralis, this is the blind spot, they are the ciliary bodies, eyelid, here they are the clear glands are present, eyelashes are there, it is the conjunctiva, cornea is the inner one, conjunctiva protects cornea, pupil is this is the hole present over there, this hole concerned by the lens and by the regulating of the ciliary muscles, जिससे कि इसकी focal length control होती है बेटा. ठीक है. Now here they are almost the same. See, iris location that you already know, it regulates the diameter of the pupil. ये और ये parts almost same है बेटा. Eustachian tube equalizes the pressure. That helps to change the focal length, that is the ciliary muscle. Organ of corti hearing में help करते हैं. Auditory, it transfers impulse from inner ear to the oval windows. It transfers impulses from the external ear to the middle ear. Conjunctiva, it protects the delicate cornea. Ciliary muscles, they help in the accommodation of the eye. Iris, they regulate the diameter of the pupil. इसी तरह से आप ये देखिए, इसमें भी here also almost they are the same. Iris, fovea centralis, surface image, oval windows transfer the information. Tympanum, that is the eardrum, located auditory canal to the ear ossicles. Eustachian tube, it is present, is the tube which arising from the internal ear and it reaches into the pharynx, equalizes the pressure outside and inside the ear. Organ of corti, they are present in the internal ear. They help in changing the sound waves into the sensory organs to the organs in the form of impulses. Ear ossicles, malleus incus stapes, middle ear, they help in transferring the sound waves from external ear to the internal ear. Like the upper lid of the eye, its function to lubricate the eye, and the bacterial infection has to be removed. Ciliary muscles are present that helps to change the focal length of the eye lens. Here same almost, they are the repeated things are there which we have already discussed. Any doubt anywhere, you can ask me in the comment section. Again we will meet in the next video. Thank you children.